Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel T-Spot. In this video, part 2 of The Witcher Season 3 was recently released on Netflix. Here is a thorough explanation of the satisfying conclusion you were hoping for. Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri successfully negotiated a challenging new family dynamic in the third season of The Witcher. The story of the continent's response to the Met Gala was remixed in the style of Ocean's 11, gradually exposing who was really the bad guy all along. Oh, and there was a fair bit of magical monster combat, including but not limited to a wyvern used for circus antics, a niche that Ciri kills, and an ominous visit from the Wild Hunt curiously never results in a clash. Despite a minor hiccup at the conclusion of Part 1, Wildford's, not Strigobber, was responsible for corrupting portals and using mind control to trick half-elven girls into believing they were Ciri. Overall, this was the most in control our characters have appeared thus far, if not always content. How does Part 2, though, end? The Witcher Season 3. Part 2's conclusion explains Geralt's demise, the fated coup. A crucial event that sets off many subsequent events and character arcs in the Witcher book series is introduced in the last episode of Part 1. The Art of Illusion, the adaptation for Season 3 follows suit. Before Yen and Geralt can decide what to do with the newly discovered information that Wilmerfortz, not Strigobber, was responsible for many of the mysterious issues this season. Reigns, the missing book of monoliths, the elven kidnappings from Eretis, and the corrupted portal. Deirdre is captured by Degdystra. Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face. The first episode of Part 2 serves as the introduction to the second section. Deirdre's neutrality is put to the test when he discovers that Wilmerfortz is behind much of the horror he has witnessed this season, specifically with an aim to track down Ciri as he has teamed up with the White Flame, Emperor Emhyr, in a room with captured mages, including Vilt Giffords himself. The general sense of directionlessness that underlies all three of our primary characters' experiences in Section 2 starts here after assaulting Dijkstra and leaving him for dead. Gerard engages Vilgefortz in a bloody fight and ultimately loses, leaving him critically wounded for the most of the rest of the season. On Geralt's instructions, Ciri flees the battle, and when they are split up, Ciri opens a portal in Torlora and unintentionally falls in the barren Korath Desert. After recovering with the Dryads, Geralt is on his way back to Ciri when his neutrality is utterly thrown off. He mistakenly learns that Ciri is with Vilgefortz because she is an emperor in his hands, so he kills an entire squad of Northgardian troops. In stark contrast to Season 1, Geralt now has a position, and it is in favor of his family. After all, he's even admitted his love for Yen. Combated Aretuza, but every member of the Witcher family is dispersed throughout the continent. As Aretuza is overthrown by the coup started by her ex-lover of Vilgefortz, Yennefer, who managed to avoid capture in the initial coup, leaves Ciri with Geralt and joins the battle to save Tissaia from ruin. Aretuza is destroyed despite some success. Tissaia gets a nice shot in on the Squire tale that appears vital for the seasons. But who represented which side? The original revolution was planned by Philippa and Dijkstra with the assistance of Redanian warriors and wizards who believe that capturing Vilgefortz and anybody connected to him is advantageous. Vilgefortz encourages Tissaia to release the imprisoned mages, including Wildford's, which starts the first round of hostilities. It first appears as positive for the Eretis and wizards. After Degdystra says that he has Ciri, Geralt confronts him, and this marks the end of his role in the major battle for Aretuza. Yennefer and Geralt combine up to leave Dijkstra headless, working with Francesca and for Wildford's in Nilfgaard. The Scoia'taels succeed in moving forward. Many lives are lost or permanently damaged on both sides as they turn the tide against Aretuza and the magicians. In a storyline turn, Strigobber supports Aretuza's side. It's a lot, and if you blinked for a moment, you may have missed a few important details. After the coup, Yen allows Geralt to recover and creates the Lodge of Sorcerers to safeguard mages in the wake of Tissaia's untimely suicide due to her guilt over her role in Aretuza's overthrow. The fact that Nilfgaard, Wildfortz, and Ciri are in her line of sight makes her next moves look similar to those of Geralt, despite the fact that they are separate and she is not in Geralt's immediate vicinity. Or, so she believes, the lonesome Ciri, again, nevertheless, not quite. The unicorn is there, Ciri, who has received assistance from Kadger, is as far away from the action as she possibly can be. She is totally alone after opening a portal to the Korath Desert, save for a strange unicorn that appears to serve as both a friend and a sign. For the duration of the entire episode, Ciri is plagued by visions of her grandmother, Callan, her mother, Paveda, and a strange hooded figure who goes by the name of Falca. Falca, in contrast to the world-saving prophecy that Ciri has been associated with and defined by up until this point, predicts that a child of elder blood like herself will destroy the world. The images reveal Ciri's mental condition and concerns, yet Falca and her curse appear a touch too real to be only a creation of her parched mind. When Ciri is at her lowest point yet, Falca urges her to utilize fire magic, which terrifies her so much that when she is ultimately kidnapped, magic is the last thing on her mind. Ciri is swiftly saved by the Rats, a band of non-magical misfits led by Missile, who we first meet when she steals from Ciri earlier. They forcefully advise her to murder her abduct. It's Ciri's first truly cold-blooded killing, and it marks the beginning of a new non-magical, non-Witcher Ciri, who, in her opinion, is not at all Ciri, but goes by the name Falca. Ciri, like Geralt, has entirely misplaced her compass and is stranded in the dunes of Kor F. However, in the larger world, when Degistra and Philippa find their king is now and they can't control, their amusing romance between Jaskier and Redanian Prince Radovid comes into play. Degistra, who did not die, be on the lookout for the owl. Radovid is crowned king when King Vizimir is killed. This occurs right as Aradivit prepares to pursue Jaskier and aid him and Geralt in their journey to Nilfgaard. Enri is both gaining and losing allies in Northgard itself as anger among the Squire Tale grows. Because in the movie's climactic scene, a disguised Tern has arrived at Nilfgaard's gates and is being applauded by the audience as Princess Cirilla of Cintra. Because word of Ciri's presence in Nilfgaard is slowly making its way out, Yen and Geralt both think she is there. Enmara may or may not be aware that she is a fake. But if we're to believe the novels, we doubt it. Season 4 is going to be a terrible night for our newly discovered Witcher family because all three of our primary protagonists are currently clearly separated from one another and are lost. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.